So let's do that. No. No words. No words. I should have said the poet.
I bring all the poetesses and the poets in everyone, and especially my own beloved, dearest family.
The people need to see what I see. They need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the co-federation solar, Sun-R-Starship planet Earth, restored to heaven on our every earth as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, past, present, retroactively, and now, rebalance, and future, always balancing, to lovingly, genealogically, and boldly become and be space-time travelers whenever and where we have interdimensional reality, all in part been before, if also never been before, in alternative space timelines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum. Balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both in each, and each both in all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunder's blast, she emerges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Carpenter. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
We all are risen by my intercession.
Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. Om Mahalakshmi Mrudapriya Maharupa Mahapudya Mahabhartanashini Mahamaya Mahasattva Mahashakti Maharati Mahabhuta Maheshwarya Mahavidya Mahabala Mahabuddhi Mahasiddhi Mahayogeshwareshwari Mahatantra Mahamantra Mahayantra Mahasana Mahayagatkramaradhya Om Mahabhairava-Pujita Maheshwara Mahakalpaka Mahatandava-Sachini Mahadaveshamatihi Mahatripura-Sundari Chatushshashti Upacharanya Chatushshashti Karamayi Maha चतुष्षष्टि कोटि योगिनी गणसेविता
So let's do the run. No. No words. No words. Scott, I should have said, oh, so beautiful.
We are the poetesses and the poets, and we do this together.
Other people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not your, our new millennial law.
Okay. Brother Patricia, maybe better name Sunflower for Cherokee and Blackfoot. This is Anna Marie, singing critic, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Anahuac, Dakota. And I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth and all the planets of all the universes.
Children of planet Earth and of the universe, female and male. I'm again broadcasting from the heart and headquarters of the family community, the one family community of love, life in the light of balance, of the Co-Federation of Earth and Planets of the New Millennial Golden Rule. I am a first but not last or only cosmic Christ, a space-time traveler here, risen, awakened from my long sleep within patriarchy, to give you the ultimate gift, the ultimate Valentine's Day, Christmas, and Easter all rolled into one, Eleusinian mysteries revealed as Eleuco-Savioral mysteries, made practical, sustainable, and enjoyable to all. Rachel, one family, Tapau, Equinox, True Q. I have been in consultation with the Mother, Father, Goddess, God. And I have told them that as their holy child, I will not take no for an answer. I will succeed at redeeming the most fallen and even demonic humanity. I refuse to quit, and I refuse to give up on anyone. I know that our society has fallen into a rut of dominators and submitters and bystanders. Dominators, victims, and bystanders. Poof to that nonsense, and it's time that you simply embraced the new millennial golden rule, shared it with everyone you know, and said to the world and worlds, we do not accept the television toxic tale of sham selections. We do not accept a moneyed system that makes most people poor. We do not accept plutonium, methane, and carbon and sulfur as our future. We instead embrace the new millennial golden rule. And we share it, and we share it, and we share it as co-secretary generals, co-saviorahs, above any national boundary. We say poof to the national boundaries. We say poof to the false dichotomies of class, race, and especially gender as a hierarchy. We do embrace that there is a difference on the broad brush between the estrogen tending female and the testosterone tending male. But we recognize that the male has the X chromosome also. We have two genders. One is two X's and one is an XY. We do not have YY for a reason, because everyone needs the divine feminine to be risen. And in order for the divine masculine to function, he has to appreciate, and in order for him to appreciate, the women and the females have to appreciate, not devalue, not submit, not eke out, not hide the divine feminine. The divine feminine has as its goal, as you could hear in that marvelous excerpt of tape, my dearest mother, Harriet, as Harriet saying, her goal was to take care of her children, to have her children with her as her great joy. And she was careful not to let the dominance of males obscure her gifts of giving the hat and crown and halo to everyone who came into her home, which was also a hat store that served thousands upon thousands of happy women who, at a time when women were considered lesser, found a hat to put on to indicate their dignity and to crown themselves. Now we have a better way to crown ourselves, even than hats, and I encourage hats. It is gender parity in decision making, and it is the requirement to accept nothing less than the balance of love and work for women and men and all of their children, female and male, so that the human bonding is the glue that holds society together and away from waste and exploitation and war and worry and wrecking itself. Read the New Millennial Golden Rule at 5050now.wordpress.com and make it, and know that it is already your delivered by the cosmic Christ law. Mr. Putin does not make the law. I do. Mr. Obama does not make the law. I do. Mr. Supreme Court and Ms. Supreme Court tokens do not make the law. I do. Because I speak for the love of Goddess God, despite your demonic state. I can redeem hell itself. And I have to reveal that the word hell came from a German word which means light. And it's only patriarchy that has inverted its meaning to make it into darkness. Patriarchy produces darkness. Balance of parity reveals light. And the photosynthesis upon which all life is based, including you, is light. Everything is based on light. And the dark, yes, there is dark in this universe. And you know what I say to it? Poof. Poof, poof, poof. We've had enough dark. How many victims of war do you need before you turn away from patriarchy? How many exploited, wasted gifts of human beings doing some kind of drudge drone work when they could be releasing the best gifts of their heart and mind in conversations with each other and implementations of diverse teamwork that's balanced by gender also, and that allows the women in particular to caucus and gather and repair the wounds of, honey, you be quiet. He has to speak now. I have a friend of the Occupy movement, a delightful young man and a peace activist, and he developed a program called Sit Down So She Can Stand Up. And you ladies who don't know how to stand up for each other, I slap you. Wake up, sisters. Sister Casinas, just because you're habituated to your down position doesn't make you should pass it on to others. You're going to have to wake up, because I really won't take no for an answer. On your behalf, I really will not allow you to schmooze each other and me anymore. Tokenism is a nightmare. It is the tranquilizing drug of gradualism that Martin Luther King warned you not to take. And who did you take? A little token guy puppet who works for combinations of corporations and sheiks. And his adoring little wife, who is smarter than he is, who can't remember that he has a sister who's smarter than he is, and that her mother is smarter than he is. But she's busily adoring him and betraying her own daughters. We've got a whole line of women like that in the so-called presidency. They all ignored common sense just as their husbands did. And the whole population went with them because they found that little mother figure to lie to her children. She lied. She said, the leaders have to be Baal. Well, I am Atlantis risen, the goddess of Atlantis, Astra. And I know that we went for thousands of years without the decisions being made mostly and almost always only by he's. We she's made the decisions. We were not Amazons. We were not warlike. We were simply able to gather. We had the bonobo understanding to know how to be goddesses. Together, women, together the women, and have them say the word parity. Parity yesterday in the way we perceive what could have been, parity today in what we do, and parity tomorrow in what we shall explore and regain and enjoy. It's that simple, folks. I will not take no for an answer. I don't care if I just sit here and broadcast and not a soul hears me. And if anybody tries to stop my broadcast, I'll find another way to communicate this light. I will not be stopped unless it's by Goddess God, her and himself. And that is the only way I can be stopped. And I will argue with Goddess God if they want to cancel me or say, honey, you took too long, it didn't work. I will argue with Goddess God on your behalf and on my behalf. I know as that great saying says, Goddess God does not make junk. And I am not junk. And neither are you, even if you have fallen into a junk condition. You keep accepting distraction and distortion instead of divinity. Turn off your television. Dears, turn off your television. It is from the television that your mind and your hearts and your spirits are being eroded. Poisoned, toxified, perverted, and inverted. They put in front of you as many attractive women as they can that go, he said this, and he said that, and 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 he said this, and he said this and that, and he and they, he's said this and that, and all the he's that gathered here said this and that, and the he's, and the he's, and the he's, and the he's. And they never once say, isn't this a little bit many on the he's? Because they have forgotten Atlantis, because they never knew about Atlantis as I did most of my life. Now I do. And frankly, yeah, I want to tell you something very straightforwardly. The National Film Board of Canada has a film on their website called Goddess Remembered. And it has a wonderful section around the timer on the clock of the playing of the film around 37 minutes and 34 seconds, in which they talk about Atlantis. And they show the frescoes of the women and how they were fully equal. And there was no gender hierarchy. And this civilization, sustained with great happiness for all their family, community, and citizenry for thousands of years, was very successful in encountering other civilizations and teaching them some of its ways. They did go to the Galilee. The frescoes have been found at Tel Kabri. They left their mark that later became what a more downtrodden society recognized as a value of Maryam of Nazareth and Jesus of Nazareth and Maryam of Nazareth's teachings, and really did involve all of their kin. Many of their kin became the early Christians. Now we know the names of some of their sisters. We don't know the names of Mary of Magdala's family. So we're going to make them up because she had family, folks, and they supported her. She was able to buck them in their pushing her down, and she was able to ally with her friend Jesus, and they taught an egalitarian vision, not a patriarchal one. And the later distortions of that came later. They came particularly at the Council of Nicaea, which morphed the early Christianity religion out of egalitarianism back into patriarchy, and sold a bill of goods for several thousands of years that you've been practicing. The allying of the state behind the church, and the state is patriarchal, and the church bends to its will. Well, you are the state, and your state is a state of mind. It has to be egalitarian. And in order to get to egalitarian, there needs to be about 9 to 18 months of reparation to females. Females are not to become the dominators. This is not an Amazon recommendation. This is a transitional recommendation and a deliverance. And I will not accept anything other than this. And you can ignore me and ignore me and ignore me, and Goddess God can say, honey, you're too slow, you didn't get it to them on time, you didn't do it in the right order, it didn't work out. I won't accept that. I won't accept it, because you are my children, and you are Goddess God's children. And when you were born, most of you were idealistic and reaching out for love. And if you didn't get it, and if you were ignored or neglected or abused or not empathically experienced in your relationship with your parents and your extended family, we're going to give you a completely new, rewritten childhood. We're going to give you guided imagery to heal you of the enormous push on women and men to adopt caricatures of themselves in order to fit in with patriarchy. We teach our little girls to shut up, and we teach our boys never to cry. We teach our boys to step over the little girls and to step over each other. We teach the little girls to sit by and watch and do whatever they can a little bit around the edges to make it a little bit nicer. And that's it. No, it isn't the way it was done in Atlantis. In Atlantis, the women were there in full force when all the decisions were made. And that's the way it's going to be. And one of those big decisions will be that everybody who goes to school or has access to the internet, and that will be everyone, gets the full knowledge that is already there about child raising, attachment parenting, on-cue breastfeeding. All of this knowledge is already known. And yet you're not doing it. You're doing crapola. You're taking pills instead of being with your children. Oh, they're giving you some money while you do that, but not too much. Because the guys, the old guys that accumulated everything at your expense, ignored the biblical injunctions to Jubilee now for I don't know how many generations. It's thousands and thousands of generations that have lived with the total defiance of even the patriarchal injunction to Jubilee. even the patriarchal God concept understood the necessity of periodic evening so that nobody could over time accumulate so much at everyone else's expense that the entire society collapsed. You have forgotten that. How convenient. What kind of churches and synagogues and mosques have left out the Jubilee? I don't mean the phony baloney Jubilee that you get out of the Vatican where they say, oh, we'll keep a door open and give you some additional confessional opportunities. No, they had a real Jubilee. It was a distribution, a redistribution of wealth and a definite time period to rejuvenate the fields and the orchards from overworking. Where have you been? I know where we've been. We've been in Christianity and Judaism as taught by men, and Islam as taught by men, with the women not there, and therefore the memory all gone. The conscience left. The hypocrisy entered. And the women go along with it because they're chicken shit. Well, I'm not chicken shit, and neither are you. Goddess God does not make junk, and Goddess God does not want you to make people into junk by virtue of, or vice of, accepting patriarchy. You have parity and paradise on this and all planets, or you have plutonic patriarchal planetocide. I refuse to let you slip into that. You are slipping into it. You're letting the blues rule you. I mean the blue of boyhood. I don't mean the red and the blue concept of Democratic and Republican is really such a joke. First of all, most of the other lands of the world don't have just two puppet parties. They have a whole bunch of parties, and they tend to ally with each other, and they have gotten much further on parity than we have. We have taken the tranquilizing drug of gradualism because television played it for us 24 hours a day. You are so asleep. You are so incredibly asleep. Wake up to parity. Wake up to parity. Wake up to parity. Say parity, 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 parity and nothing but. Parity and nothing but. Parity, parity, parity. And say, the new millennial golden rule will get us there. The new millennial golden rule. The new millennial golden rule. The new millennial golden rule. I am a co-secretary general, co-savior of the new millennial golden rule. I am a local, global, co-secretary, global, universal, co-secretary general, co-savior of the new millennial golden rule. I am a local, global, universal, co-secretary general, co-savior of the new millennial golden rule. I am a risen divine democracy human being with common sense, and I am an equinox, true Q, a Vulcan if necessary. Little logic, folks. And then I can regain my betazoid characteristics, my empathy for children, my empathy for people, my empathy for Goddess God. I don't think Goddess God wants to lose the planet Earth, even if I have failed in many, many respects. And I think as long as I keep trying and I ask Goddess God to extend this until I get this right, that like the movie Groundhog Day, I will be given another day and another day and another day and another day to get it right with you, ladies and gentlemen. Until I get this right, we'll be recycling the same day over and over and over until I get this right. And you, as demonic and depraved as you have become, hear me. Heed me. and do the New Millennial Golden Rule. So that is my message. I'm coming to you a little bit later than usual on these starry hours, in the wee hours, because I needed a little rest. But I do not sleep without the knowledge of you in my heart, that you must and shall be reclaimed from your depraved condition. That you were born holy and you have a right to your birthright. I mean this so deeply for the people I know and knew. It anguishes me to see the mind programming in their thought process. It's frightening. It's shocking. Intelligent people that I grew up with and saw them during their idealistic youth now spout the nonsense of television and promote it. They work in these organizations that are so patriarchal and they accept it. They don't even anguish about the lack of family leave for the children of this part of the world. How dare you? Wake up. You're going to wake up now. I tell you, you are. I'm going to make sure it happens one way or another. I'm going to keep working on this until I get it right, and you're going to make it. You're going to make it to the promised land. You're going to make it to the Elysian fields everywhere, become Eleucosaviral fields everywhere. And that is our broadcast. You are co-secretary generals of the New Millennial Golden Rule. Read it and learn your manner of delivering all your sisters and brothers, your sister cousins and your brother cousins. You will deliver them all, however long it takes. Take the New Millennial Golden Rule and call me and call me. Take the New Millennial Golden Rule and call me in the dawn, in the midday, in the starry hours. Take the New Millennial Golden Rule and call me. I am the big doctor. I'm the doctor that saves the world. You got it? I refuse anything else. That's my choice. Come join me. Every blessing. Namaste. And all the greetings and all the blessings of all the heritages of our earth and our earths together. Mitakuye Oyasin, Pa'ava L'chaim, Shalom, Salam, Salam, Shalom. Mir, Pace, Merci, Juice, Ciao, Enjoy, Love, every blessing.